Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Shakey's Cricketing and Sports Journeys. Today I'm recording nice and early in the morning in the UK because I've been joined by a special guest at the other side of the world in sunny Australia. I welcome to the show Ben Laughlin. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, Shaky boy. How are you, mate?
Yeah, it's good. I'm very good, mate. Very good. Good to see. Good to see your face. You haven't changed a bit. You still look like that little 18, 19-year-old that came over to Scotland many years ago.
Yep, still shaving once a month, so that's good. But no, yeah, it's been a while, buddy. Looking forward to having the chat.
Yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to it. Before we go into having the chat, I just want to give the viewers an introduction. I'm sure a lot of them will know you, especially the ones that are tuning in from Scotland. But Ben Laughlin, right arm, medium fast bowler. He can bat a little bit as well. Absolute gun freak fielder, and I really mean that. I mean, you're talking Jonty Rhodes like. The teams that he's played for, now brace yourself for this, people. Adelaide Strikers, Brisbane Heat, Canterbury, Chennai Super Kings, Guyana Amazon Warriors, Hobart Hurricanes, Queensland, Quetta Gladiators, Rajasthan Royals, Sunrisers Hyderabad. I could probably find a few more, but you know, I'm out of breath as it is after that. But no, you know, amazing background, amazing. You know, travelled all over the world. But yeah, Benny, tell me. You know, I want to take you all the way back. Start the story at the, right at the top, which was your childhood. You were born in the 3rd of October, 1982. Born in Victoria, in Australia. Take me back, mate. Tell me about your childhood, family background.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, my old man was a cricketer. So Dad played a little bit of Test cricket for Australia back in the World Series days, so late 70s. So cricket's pretty much in our family. So yeah, born in Melbourne. Mum and Dad were in Melbourne, and Dad was still playing for Collingwood. So yeah, I remember going down to Collingwood, which is a big AFL side, but they've got a cricket team as well. So down there, and then sort of remember running around there a bit. But then we moved to Queensland in, 1990. So I was about 8 years old. I was in grade 3, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Dad kept playing up in Brisbane for a club called Wynnum Manly, which you know, Shaky.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dad played for a couple of years. I think he captain coached when I was about 10 or 12. And yeah, I was always running around. I'd go to training every Tuesday, Thursday night, was always around it. But fortunately, my father wasn't a very pushy dad, so there was never any pressure to play cricket. So to be honest, I don't think I really liked the hard ball. I was just a bit scared. I was a pretty little kid. So I never really pursued cricket much until I think Mum tells the story. I might have been 15 or something, or 14, and I came into the kitchen and asked Mum, "Do you mind if I go down and play cricket?" And Dad overheard in the other room, and he was fist pumping in the air. I think
loving it.
All his non-pushing had finally come back, and I wanted to play. So yeah, I was always around a cricket club and always part of Wynnum Manly, and yeah, finally sort of got into it 15, 16 sort of thing. Which is probably
any other
quite
sports,
late.
And your
first sport was basketball.
All right,
yeah,
okay.
My mum coached my bun. I think we used to play like under 5s or something, and I remember couldn't even throw the ball high enough to get into the ring as a basketball player. But I think a lot of heaps of basketball as up until probably 15 as well. I really loved basketball, and I reckon that's where a lot of my movement from fielding and sideways and stuff all comes in from lessons learned playing that as a young kid. But I pretty much played anything, Shaky. Whatever was going on, I would play. Yeah, not a hell of a lot of individual sport or like running or athletics or swimming and stuff, but more so team stuff and ball sports and all that. Yeah, enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. I can't remember did you have any siblings?
I've got an older sister, who's 4 years older than me. Yeah, but
did she play sport? Was it because it sounds like the family?
She was basketball too. Yeah, Jodie played a lot of basketball and netball and things like that. So yeah, sport's a pretty big part of our family. Still is. Dad still plays golf and watches way too much sport and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was it. So yeah, what was that? 15, 16, and then started playing at school and down at Wynnum. But I was ordinary. I was a very average cricketer as a young fella. Never made any junior rep teams or anything. So my first rep game was for Queensland at 25 or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you right now. When you came over to Scotland, and you obviously, we'll talk about that. It's a great family background, great, you came over to Scotland for the first time. Would you have been 18 or 19?
Yeah, 18, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon I
18.
might have just been 18. Yeah.
You had a season at Fergusley and Paisley
Yeah,
to
I was at
start with.
Fergusley. Yeah, and then my best friend Steen came over as well. So, and Steen got to play with you at Clydesdale.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was at Fergusley, and Steen and I lived together. And I had a lovely, awesome time. Like, when you look back now, you go, I had a crappy job folding t-shirts and getting a couple of quid an hour and whatever. And I think it rained. We played the first game, and then we got washed out the next 7 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
but
you had the tough season. I don't think you had the best season though, because you were injured. You were injury prone in that first year, weren't you?
I feel like I played a fair bit. I might have hurt my back towards the very back end.
I think you hurt your back a little bit.
Yeah, but I think you've been a bit harsh, Shaki. I reckon I got a fair
No. I just remember playing against you first time. I remember my memory. Yeah. So this is the memory of me knowing you now, Ben.
Yeah.
So you obviously mentioned Big Steno, good friend of mine. Had some great times with him over here, and obviously you were at Fergusley. Fergusley and Clydesdale were massive rivals. So the banter was already flowing. You're not shy of a word, Benny boy.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
No, we had some good fun. No, but Steno was miles in front of me.
I think we played a final first time at Clydesdale. First time I played against you, and you were a medium pace bowler.
Keep her up.
I remember you were putting it in that kind of slot that day, and I was finding you quite nice to drive. And there was wasn't much there. I didn't watch you and think, this guy's going. You were like you say, you were a late developer. The following year,
I think if you Yasser would have been the pro that year. I think Yasser and I are about the same age, and he was miles in front of me, wasn't he?
Yeah. At that point, you wouldn't have thought. You knew Yasser was probably going to go on.
Yeah, just back to that. I think we won that final though.
You did win the final. Yeah.
Anyway,
and you reminded us. You reminded us majority of the week, Benny, as well. But then things changed. The following year, you came back, and this time you came to Clydesdale. Now,
2 years after. I reckon Steno came back the next year, and then I
came back the next year. That's
the year after. Yeah,
and then you came back the next year. Now again, my relationship with you didn't start very well, Benny.
No, we weren't besties.
I remember a net session at Clydesdale. It was like one of the first net sessions we had. And I chose not to wear a helmet, just being a bit cocky, I think, thinking, he can't hit me in the head. And you ran in probably 3 balls in a row just to let me know what you thought about it, and you bounced me every single ball. And it finished with the 3rd ball. I threw my gloves out the net, I spat my dummy out, and I remember running at you with a cricket bat, and I was like, I'm going to kill him. And Colin Mitchell had to get in the middle and say, calm it down. And you know what? Sometimes you need moments like that, because from that moment on, I think we became really good mates. I mean, we had a great season together. We won the league. We won the National League. Yeah. You were fantastic for Clydesdale. I mean, that's when I started realising, I mean, you're a special bowler. But talk to me about your memories of that season and, playing with Yasser and all the rest of the guys in the club.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty good team. So at Clydesdale, it was, it wasn't the hardest job. I was the amateur still. So I was I think I'm almost a bonus looked at in those senses, that if you come over and you're actually any good, it's a big win. So I was just sliding in behind Yasser and trying to do my thing. I reckon I got a couple of runs too that season, but
you played well.
From the guys who were in that squad and quite young, a lot of the boys, they all went on to play for Scotland, most of them. So, and then we had the older boys of Mitchell, Keith, and Big Greg Williamson. Didn't we? Is that? Have I missed someone?
You're absolutely right. And
then Big Jody Mitchell bowling the outswingers as well.
Bowling some heat. Big Jody getting those outswingers. Yeah. No, we had a bit of everything. We had Ross Lyons, who obviously went on to play for his country as well. Qasim Parry, Andy Hislop as keeper. We really did have a steady team. Yeah.
So no, it was just good fun. I'm annoyed that my cricketing hasn't brought me back to England, so I could just sneak up and. Yeah, I haven't been due to the visa stuff. I've never actually qualified for a visa to play in England, so I've never been. I would have got a gig or anything, but I've never been actually able to have a chance. So I haven't been able to get back to Scotland much at all. So But I do know it's one of those places. I get random texts from boys once a year here and there. But when I do get back there, I'll rock up at Clydesdale and there'll be the same 10 people at the bar, and it'll be like nothing's changed, sort of thing. So that's
we'd love to see you. We'd love to see you over here, mate. I think you would. There'd be a lot of blokes that would come down and catch up with you, Benny. You know, it was at that stage as well, Ben, that you must have like seen something in me. And you took me to the side, you know, towards the end of I think it was because you had 2 seasons at Clydesdale as well, didn't you? You came back to back at Clydesdale.
I came back and did half a year as a pro. I think Yas had to leave.
That's right.
Year,
That's
so
right. We won the league. We won the league that year. We won the league that year as well. We won back to back titles. And you suggested that I should come to Australia, and come to win a Manly and see how I get on. And you know, I came over to Australia, young boy, been away and experienced South Africa already, came over to Australia. And, you know, for all the viewers out there, I specifically just want to say, you know, you looked after me, Benny, you know, from the moment I attended the first net session when I didn't see it under lights, got snicked off, and Neville, the coach, made me go and do runs, which I was raging about because I'd been waiting all week to bat. And I remember that whole week waiting to come back and bat again and face you. I'd called Rosario. You know, there's David Hutchinson there with that pink ball, and I was thinking, these guys are not getting me out. I am not going to do those runs. But I mean, great memories. I used to come and visit you a lot. You were living with Steno at that point. You boys had a great pad, and you even invited me and all the academy boys one day to come to your house for a house party. So yeah, I've always wanted to say to you, I know I probably did before I left, but just again, you know, thank you very much for everything you did for me, Ben, because, you know, it meant a lot to me. You really looked after me. I know Harry Singh, he came over as well, and he always talks about how well you looked after him. So you're a top man.
No, it was good times, and I think that's just playing in Scotland. I reckon there's a big part of that. I don't know, you guys, we got looked after so well when we were there. We never needed for anything, and everyone looked after us at all the clubs, or Ferguson and Clydesdale where I played. Mm-hmm. So whenever anyone comes out, love to catch up with them and see them and look after them, because I feel we owe so much for the experience that I got given over there. Yeah, it was great fun. But I think what I loved about you coming out, Shaky, was trying to show how different the two worlds are of cricket, as in how everything's, well, I felt like at Clydesdale you get a beautiful ground and everything's there and training's sort of set up a bit, whereas you come to Oz and it's fend for yourself and figure it out the hard way almost. So it was it's cool. I really like the two, being able to see both of them.
No, it toughened me. I always talk, because I mean I've managed to get over and play cricket in South Africa. I played first class cricket in Pakistan. They were tough, but I always talk about my time playing in Australia as the toughest time. You know, unfortunately I didn't quite break into the first grade team. You had hopes that I was going to break into that, but there was a strong team, man, at Wynnum Manly. There was a lot of boys playing for Queensland at that time. So it wasn't an easy team to break. I ended up opening the batting for the second team most of the season. You know, I did all right. I got 100 at the time I was out there. But I'll never forget getting introduced by Neville, the coach, the first time I arrived. And he said, this is where in Australia they don't mean it in any type of way, but he just said he got about 50 guys round and he went, "Oh, all right, mate, right, yeah, right. Just this is Shaky, Scottish Picky. We've just signed this, coming over from Scotland." And everyone was like, I remember you went up to him and you were like, "Neville, you know, you can't phrase it like that. Over there, that gets taken a little bit differently." And he was like, "Oh, right, oh no, Shaky's a good bloke," and he's hugging me and everything else. And I don't know if you remember, Benny, we had a sprint that day. Now you always used to be shocked about this. The whole club, Neville set us up for a 100-meter sprint, and I beat all of you Australians.
Did you?
You don't remember?
So it must have been the first time you ever run.
You couldn't accept when you were at Clydesdale that I could beat you, and you used to go and challenge me in the Clydesdale, and I would beat you. You'd be like, "You're so slow in the field, Shaky. How can you beat me?"
I just didn't get it. You don't chase leather balls like that, do you?
No, look, it's great to go down memory lane with you. It really is. But let's move on. Let's talk about Ben Laughlin, the cricketer now, the professional, the guy that I thought I didn't really have high hopes for you, Benny, in the young days. I didn't think it was going to. And it's interesting to hear you say that as well. But you had 3 seasons at Wynnum Manly. I think by the time I was about to leave, you were really starting to make your name at that point. You know, every Saturday you were taking wickets. You were really get ruffling up some feathers. Tell me when it started clicking for you.
probably after that before my last stint, probably the first time I went to Clydesdale, came back from there, and I think I had 3 really good summers in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically my first 3 summers in first grade. So I think I was leading wicket taker possibly all 3 years for the comp. And but I think the first year I would have been bowling with the keeper up still, I'm pretty sure. So it was just military mediums, and then I'm not sure if my body got harder or I just realised that there was more effort and violence that needed to go into your action to generate more pace or whatever. But yeah, it sort of just progressed up. And yes, after those 3 years, I jagged a second 11 game by fluke. Our friend Craig Rosario, who was probably a lot more gifted than I was, who's 6'8" and used to bowl a lot faster than me, actually pulled out. So I got the call up to come in the next day and bowled really well in that game. And that got me into the last Shield game of the Queensland summer, down at the MCG. And then went okay in that, not earth-shattering, but probably pass mark. And then on the back of that, got my first contract for Queensland. So that was
a big thing that happened for you around 205, 206 was you won the Peter Burge Medal as the best grade cricketer. Now, I just want to put this out there. You had a stress fracture, Benny, before that for a year or so. You really suffered with your back. I remember you had time over in Scotland as well. And you bowled, or you took up off spin for a while.
Yeah, so I probably had 3 stresses back to back on the bounce, and I just sort of got fed up with bowling. So I went back to 3rd grade and played 3rd grade as a batter, just with some mates, and we'd have beers on Friday nights and then go and try and slog a few. And I think I got bored halfway through the year and thought I'd just start tweaking some offies out, and slid into 2nd grade as an off spinner and did really well, and then ended up playing 1st grade as an off spinner. And someone got hurt, so I think I had to bowl offies and medium pace with the second new ball or something, and generally phased into just bowling pace. So those that haven't seen me, I've got an off spinning slow ball, and that's where it all got grooved from. It was all that bowling thousands of balls of off spin, and then it sort of just worked its way into my repertoire. Yeah.
So you won that award, Benny. Proud moment for you. Is that
massive.
Gave you the confidence.
Yeah. So, I used to look at guys that won the Burge and medals like that around the country, and they were all superstars that would go on and play for Australia and all that. And I didn't even dream about playing for Australia because I didn't think it wasn't even realistic. So, that was really cool. That sort of, gave me some fire. I think that might have been my first full year in 1st grade too. So I wasn't really known or anything like that. So it was, it was cool. And nothing really came off it, as in, I don't think I got picked in any squads or anything like that, but I think people just recognised and remember to watch the next year for that name. And it all sort of started snowballing from there. And probably the belief to keep training harder and doing all those things that, you probably forget about, but all the running and all that stuff, that gym work that goes on to get to that stage. Yeah, no,
I mean, that's one thing I remember well about you. You train hard every training session. I mean, you came out and you would, any fielding drills or anything, you would push the other guys around you as well. In particular, me quite often when I was training with you, because I was a bit lazy in the field. But you loved it. You loved getting in a scrap with me in the field. It was good fun. We had that love-hate relationship. I mean, your first scalp though, first class debut, you got quite a big first scalp. A big Australian superstar, Cameron White. How did you get him? Do you remember it?
Yeah, just back of a length, and he just nicked one away. Moved away a little bit, nicked it to second. No, maybe the keeper. I can't even remember. But it was just a little bit away. It wasn't a great shot from Whitey, but it was all right. Yeah, I can remember him because I've only taken about 10 first class wickets, haven't I? So it's a bit easy to remember those than the T20 ones, that's for sure.
Listen, I think you did the smart thing, mate. Bowling first class cricket for many, many years would take its toll on anyone's body. You've been able to. I mean, T20, the 4 overs. If I was a bowler,
I wouldn't still be playing for sure if I'd been playing a lot of red ball cricket, but by no means was it my decision. It was just the way my game grew. Evolved. I was just no good at red ball. My wrist position and some finer detail things aren't very good for red ball. So, which I tried to fix and change and make myself better. But ended up coming to the assumption that I'll just try and get pretty good at the white one and see how that goes.
Yep. 2008, you really announced yourself. I mean, you're quite fond of this. We'll go on to talk about a few more that you do in your career, but you get your first 6-for. You got 6 for 23 in a List A game vs New South Wales. The first person to do that in 2 decades. You remember that day?
I do remember that day. So that was my second game, and it was only in my first game, which was a few days before, we were at the Gabba and we got rained out. I only bowled one over and we got washed out. So it was basically my first game. Yeah, and so lucky to get success early. I just think it's such a massive thing. If you're a young kid coming in and you can get success in your first 3 games or something, it just opens up so many options mentally for you to be able to know that you belong and it does work. And especially the way that I bowl with slow balls and change ups, it's it just meant that what I had been doing in grade cricket is transferable against better players at the next level. So yeah, it was a great day. We're up in Cairns. We had which is right up the top of Queensland, top of Australia. One of our home games, we moved up there just to take it out to a regional centre. So that was great fun against I think Davey Warner and Steve Smith was playing that game. They would have been about 12, but they were both playing. I can't even tell you if I got them out or not. But it was a good New South Wales team, and it was nice to get some success early, which was really cool, and just opened me up for the year to have a really good crack at it. And we had a really good year that year.
No, you had a very good season, which then in 2009. Now this is my last memory of seeing you. Now this is where I'm going to say this. I was surprised to see it at the time because, when you were
surprised.
I had a feeling you'd go on. I definitely thought, Benny, you would go on and play first class cricket. You had something about you. You're a real competitor. But playing for Australia, I mean, one of the strong, if not the strongest cricket playing nation in the world. It takes a big ask, but you were selected for 5 ODIs and 2 T20 games to go to South Africa. And we as Scotland just happened to be in South Africa at the time playing the World Cup qualifiers, which I was part of the squad. Majid Haq was part of the squad, who were 2 ex-teammates of yours. First and foremost, talk to me about when you got the call.
So we're actually in Melbourne. We were playing the Shield final. So we're in Melbourne getting ready for that. That would have been, Anyway, a couple of days before that, and I was a bit of a 50-50 to make the Shield final team. It was probably I didn't bowl very good the week before. And I got a call from the coach and he was like, come and see me in my room. And I was like, shit, here we go. I'm going to get myself for the final. Fair enough though. I didn't really deserve it. And I bumped into James Hopes in the foyer. And Hopes, he's like an old lady. He just loves gossip and all that sort of stuff. And he was like, just act surprised. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, of course I'm going to be surprised. I've got drops. So I walked in there and our coach, Trevor Barsby, sat me down and said, I want you to keep really focused on what we've got at hand, blah, blah, blah. But you've been picked to go on the Australian tour. And it was like, I don't think I was shocked or anything. I was just like, well, that wasn't it. I'm pretty well planned out in my mind, and I always have things sort of quite organised, and this wasn't even an option, like to get picked to play for Australia. So yeah, it sort of came out of nowhere, and it was back then, like Mike Hussey only just debuted probably a couple of years beforehand. Like you had to play 15 years of quality cricket or 10 years of quality cricket before you could actually get a sniff in the Australian team. So yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, I was pumped around my old man. He couldn't talk to me. He started crying on the phone. So yeah, it was cool. And then we played the Shield final. Dirk Nannis tried to kill me because I took his spot, he thought, so he just kept hitting me. But yeah, no, it was good fun. And then off over to South Africa after that. So which was amazing. I didn't even know more than half the guys I'd never met before. So I met them over there for the first time because they were at the back end of a test series. But amazing times. And you boys were all there. We're all at the Sanson Sun, weren't we?
Yeah, that's right, Sanson Sun. I mean, we can talk about that in a second, but name some of the guys that the squad you were going into, that you were the squad you were part of.
Yeah, so it was Ricky Ponting was captain and Michael Clark was vice captain. Hussey brothers, Bracken, Johnson, Nathan Horrocks, Haddon was keeping. Who else am I missing? There's probably another couple of superstars that I'm forgetting about. But yeah, it was just the who's who sort of thing of the team. And it was sort of the first time they've done the rotation almost. So I think Peter Siddle and Ben Hilfenhaus were playing the tests, and they wanted to rest them post the test to get ready for Ashes or something that was coming up. So I came in, as that sort of role. I think me, Brett Jeeves, might have been the other quick. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, you're right. It was Brett, you and Brett Jeeves that came in to replace the other two.
Yeah, so amazing. And I remember I'd never met Ricky before, and we got to Joburg a couple of days before the test boys did, and then we were I was down having breakfast, and Ricky came up and said, "Oh, hey Ben, Ricky, blah blah blah. Do you mind if I have breakfast with you?" And one of the most random. No shit, Ricky, sit down, mate. That'll be fine. Yeah, so that was really cool. And like to meet people like that and be able to play. Like even now, saying it that I get to play with Ricky Ponting is it's just weird.
It's it's funny you say that. I've already done a recording. It'll probably be out before your one comes out with a Fawad Ahmed leg spinner. And he said the same thing when he got called in. Actually, Ricky Ponting helped him get his
visa.
Get his visa. So clearly it's coming out here that there's a reason Ricky Ponting led Australia as a captain for many years, and there's a reason he was so successful. I mean, he's a fantastic pundit as well. I love listening to his commentary, but it's interesting to hear that he's such a humble guy that Ben Laughlin. You're probably thinking, does he even know my name?
Yeah, it's surprising. Ricky's an absolute tragic. Like knows everything. Like he was talking about games that wouldn't have even been on TV that he'd got information from someone else, and just everything. And even like I was blessed when I moved to Tassie after Queensland that I got to play a fair bit with him, and then you still see him around the traps commentating and all that. So I wouldn't say we're close mates.
What can you get? Was it just you and him having breakfast that day?
I think so. Yeah, I reckon I was just down there by myself pretty early.
Do you remember? Like, I mean, you don't need to tell me all the ins and outs. Is there anything that you remember? Just that he said to you? Was it just a welcome?
Not there. No, I reckon I was a bit starstruck and can't really remember anything he said. But there was one during those first couple of games. There was he'd come up to you at mid-off, and I just remember him saying, almost just, you know what you're doing, back yourself. Yeah, like full trust. And I'm like, why are you trusting me? You shouldn't be trusting me. Yeah, but like full trust in you. which was just amazing to get from such a legend. Yeah.
And the rest of the blokes in the team, you obviously named so many big names. Did everyone welcome you? Did you feel really welcome in the squad?
It's different because I've never been sort of around the Aussie setup. You don't like this. The players you sort of get to know and you might have come across them. At least you see them on TV. It's the other 10, 15 back staff that you have. I had no idea who they are. Like I probably couldn't even told you who the coach was before I got there. Like just no involvement or didn't think it was ever going to affect me. So I won't get to know any of these people. And then the strength coach and the assistant coaches and all this sort of stuff. So it was a sort of tough environment to jump into, especially because I was probably the only one that didn't really know anyone. Mm-hmm. No, awesome fun. Things that you stuff up that you wish you could do again because of How
were the nerves, Benny? How were the nerves? Or did you?
Not too bad. Yeah, I'm not horrendous. I've never really been a massive nervous person. Occasionally found myself, or throughout the few Aussie games I've played over the course of a few years, getting a bit lost in the games. Yeah, which when you look back in hindsight, I mean, there would have been something there overawing you a little bit, whereas rarely do I get lost in reading the game in a domestic T20. Yeah, just misreading some information that normally I'd be all over. Yeah,
big crowds as well. Bigger crowds than probably what you were used to. I mean, they were packed out stadiums. The Aussies were in town. South Africans were. There's a big rivalry there.
Yeah, that was cool. Crowds never really affected me.
Okay.
The more the merrier. Yeah, I like bit more atmosphere. But it was definitely. I found it funny when I was doing laps of 12 man that all South Africans make sheep noises at the Aussies, and I was like, that's not us. That's the Kiwis who are the sheep noises. Anyway, that was one of the small things you remember. Yeah,
I'm sure you had a chuck back to a few of them, Benny. You're not shy. You took 4 wickets. Yeah. You took 4 wickets in the series. you know, by all accounts, you know, it didn't go probably. Some people just strike lucky early on in their international career and it goes like a house on fire. It didn't go probably as well as maybe you would have hoped. But listen, mate, you were there. You took 4 wickets for your country. You played against South Africa. Am I right in saying, Benny, that was also the series that you took one freakish catch on the boundary line?
Yep. Bit of
Can
both.
you just remind me? We had deep cover.
Where was I? Was I cover? Who was batting? Albie was batting. No, it would have been deep front of square, I reckon.
Deep front of square. Albie Morkel.
Yeah, Albie Morkel, Horrocks bowled one, and he sort of slogged it high, and it would have landed maybe a metre over the rope. This thing was like a sky ball though, and I sort of leapt up and sort of caught it and came back and somehow held my balance. Yeah, the sad thing is with that, Jackie, that was about 3 a.m. in Australian time when that would have happened, and no one saw it. And I don't think I can find it on YouTube.
Listen,
anywhere,
mate,
so.
that's why I asked you there, because I was sure I would find it somewhere, even a picture of it, just for when I do some posting after this or whatever. And I can't find it. Cannot find it, and I tried to YouTube it to try and find it. No footage.
If anyone's got it, flick it to me.
Could have been one of the greatest catches of all time. You were flying in the air.
Yeah. People always ask me when I take other ones, is that the best you've taken? I'm like, no, this one in South Africa I took was the best, but you'll never see it. Yeah.
No, it's actually really, you're playing for your country, man. You'd think somebody would have snapped it. Somebody would have snapped it. But just before we go on, as I said earlier, we were out there as well, the Scottish boys. And you know the South Africans, Australians were in the same hotel at Santon, and then you had all the associate countries. So like I was getting in the lift, Davy Warner standing there, Ponting strolling about, Hashim Amla's walking by, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm excited by as you would have been playing for Australia. Now one thing again, I talked about how humble and down to earth a guy you are, Benny. There was one night, myself, Majid Haq, I think it was Callum McLeod and Navdeep Punia. We come into a Thai restaurant to have dinner, and you were about to have dinner with Ponting, Greg Blewett, to name a few people, because I'm pretty sure he was there as there was a few other big, I think Dean Hills might have been there, or a few other people, and I think you just kind of excused yourself and said, I've got a couple of mates here, and you came and sat at our table and you had dinner with us. And you know what? That's who you are, Benny. That's who you are. You're a really, really humble, down to earth guy. On his first Australian tour, you would have thought you would have been just glued and sniffing around. But you respect everybody. Everybody's human. Doesn't matter who you are. And we had some good meals out there. We caught up. We used to come and visit your room. You'd pop down and see us. It maybe worked quite well actually, that you had a few mates that you were comfortable with.
Yeah, it was good. I just felt sorry for you guys because you had to share rooms. That's all I remember.